Going live. Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So today I'm just going to do a reaction. Just saw this video come out. Meet Kevin. I just glimpsed at the beginning of it. It's part of his first renovation, HouseHack. It says our first renovation, my real estate startup, HouseHack. So I thought we'd watch this and just take a look at what he's doing. Anyways, I'm actually just closed on a house today, by the way. Let me tell you, people that think you don't earn your money doing renovations are nuts. Let me just show you. This is the swimming pool, okay, of the property. And this is the shed in the back, and the house is just as full of much of the same kind of stuff. But and then these are, and actually this is actually, you can see a big difference between this being a property I paid less than $300,000 for. I think Kevin, I'm not sure if he said, we're going to find out when we watch it. But look at all, actually that's the pit bull. There's a pit bull bit me on the arm. Drew blood off my elbow anyways. But anyways, a lot of people have the assumption that people that invest in real estate don't earn their money, and nothing could be further from the truth. And think that people that do value add, like hurt the market. A lot of ignorant people out there. I've had a lot of comments from people that absolutely just don't know crap about real estate, and that's just the truth. So we're gonna watch this together, and feel free to comment. And I actually like Kevin. I've been critical of him in the past on some things. It's just look, he's a young man growing up. He's done really well, and best YouTuber, absolutely the best YouTuber I've ever seen. Really an admirer at that, on that end of it. So, but let's take a watch here, and be right. Oh, also please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll get on with this in a second.
It's the best thing I ever did.
All right, so this is Meet Kevin. I might speed this up just a little bit. Man, it has been a busy day, and so I'm going to try to move things along here. And let's take a watch.
Our OPEX, because we want to make sure we minimize those costs for our...
I jumped ahead.
So you want to see progress on HouseHack? This is what a house looks like after 51 days of HouseHack being involved with it. But first, you got to understand what it looked like the first time around when we came through here and we saw the devil on the wall.
Yeah, this would be interesting. So this is the before condition. This really doesn't look that bad, just at first glance. But let's keep, in fact, I'm going to slow this part down just a little bit here. And let's keep watching.
We saw trash everywhere, poop everywhere. It was disgusting. Look at the living room as you go in.
Now, actually, I'd be careful. If this is an estate sale and he bought some old people's home that passed away, I don't like going in calling it disgusting. And now the reason I say that is because it looks like it's occupied. This looks like a home that might have been, and I may be wrong, but that may be turnkey. And look at the furniture, by the way. Take a look at the furniture. This is the indication of very old people living here. So I don't know. It's one thing. I'm missing. I bought a garbage dump or two that were, and this looks great to me. To me, his description of this being horrible looking, at least at this point, this doesn't look that bad to me. It actually looks fairly nice. It just looks like it's cluttered, like a lot of old people hold a lot of stuff. They're kind of clutterers by nature. Let's keep watching.
And there's furniture and garbage everywhere. Look at the nastiness of the kitchen.
Yeah, so I went to an estate sale with my girlfriend and of course those in the club know I stop at estate sales, but stopped into an estate sale, and my girlfriend just started crying because she loves to cook and that sort of thing, and she was looking at all the plates and all the nice things that some homemaker had over the years, and these were her things. And and then, you know what, she perked up and stopped crying when she saw a really nice table in the backyard that she liked. But beside the point, she did get caught up in the emotion of it. But I try to be very respectful in regard to a person's home that you're buying, especially an estate sale. If you're buying, from a trustee, that sort of thing. It's just because these things mean something to somebody else. Now, they may be dead, they may be gone, and he's referring to this house as kind of a trash pile. But I mean, look, that's a decent fridge on the left. It's got a built-in microwave, microwave hood. This is not what I would call a dump by any stretch. It actually looks like a pretty decent home. And if it's in disrepair, and I may be wrong, and Kevin, if you're watching, please correct me, but it doesn't look like a rental to me. Maybe. Doesn't look like one, though, to me. And so just by what I see inside. But let's keep watching.
Or the restroom, or even worse. Look upstairs at these bedrooms. Look at the bathrooms. This is gross. Nobody.
Yeah, you know what? I bought a property from a guy that was almost 100 years old, and it was friends with him. I just took him to dinner for just about once a month for a couple of years afterwards. And this guy was blind. He had a heavy magnifier. He'd have to read a newspaper like one word at a time. But he kept his house absolutely immaculate. He could just vacuum blindly, and he would feel everything on the floor. But anyways, a Christmas tree in the hallway. Not sure when he bought this.
Nobody wants to live in this. Nobody wants to move in this. I'm proud to say, after we closed on this, after the end of August, it's been 51 days, and we're probably within about 2 weeks of having this property rented out. Let me take you around and show you a little bit of the touch-up that we still have going on. These are some of the leftover things that just bother me that I want to see finished. So first of all, this was all weeded up, so we are going to paint this. So we get rid of the weed leftover remnants that have sort of ripped off the paint from these walls. We want to have this all nice and consistent, so we'll give this a nice, fresh new coat. And the neighbors will love us too if we do this, because this doesn't look that good because it used to be covered with plants that were all dead. So we got rid of those. Now this right here is still.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting property. I didn't, I just went through it quick, but I never got like a shot on the outside. I don't know if he's repainted this place at all or not on the outside, but it looks pretty clean. It looks like I said, vines used to be growing on here. They pulled them off. That's always a hazard. You pull them off, you're going to see what you see. I think we're looking at brick there. Yeah, it looks like a brick wall, I think. But anyways.
Well, some of the original from when we bought, we did add.
That's really a substantial wall. That's a hell of a wall.
Add obviously the mulching here. We had to replace the holdups back here, or the retaining wall back here, which we did. So you can see this is beautiful. It's a gorgeous new retaining wall. What I'd like to do is paint that retaining wall to match this pressure treated, or at least match this fence, just so we take what looks old and start making it look new. But this is beautiful with the pebbles here already and the new retaining wall. Maybe we'll throw a little bit of mulch over here and really clean this up. But absolutely gorgeous work on the retaining wall. Let's go inside. So as you walk in, you can see we've got flooring down. We don't have the carpet down yet. Paint is done. We've got the new hardware in. We've got the doors painted. We've got new hardware on the doors, new hinges over here. Still some things to do. Property isn't completely done, but we've already worked in new light fixtures. Some small things that I want to do. I don't really love this tile, but it's not worth reglazing this tile.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd probably leave it.
But this gold, we can really make a big difference here. We're going to mask this off with tape. We're going to black bronze spray paint this. You got to clean it first, though, otherwise the spray paint won't last.
Acid etch it.
Sometimes you can even steel wool it a little bit. Doesn't take long. Most of the work is in the prep. That's actually generally true when it comes to painting. And so we're going to black bronze the gold, and that'll look really nice. That'll really clean this up. And then all of a sudden, the tile won't be as much of a statement. See, the tile actually looks worse because it's next to the gold. When this is next to the black bronze, it'll look just fine.
Yeah, I would agree with that, by the way. Gold, I do not like gold.
Already done the new flooring. We get the thresholds over here. We've got to get the 2-inch faux wood blinds. Those are going to be coming in. Windows will be get cleaned as well once we're out of here and everything's nice and clean. We got our new light fixture here. We've got our kitchen here, gorgeous, a white countertop, gray cabinets. We've got the hardware.
So that tile, I don't know that he put in new tile. I think that looks like the same tile. So, but did they replace the cabinets? Okay, let's remember this spot for a second here, right? 307. Let's go back here a second, look at the before. Okay. Take a look here. Yeah, if that's the kitchen, it looks like the same white tile. So this doesn't seem like too terribly much of a fixer-upper. I mean, that, changed the paint. This, get back to 3 where we left off.
Cleaned as well once we're out of here and everything's nice and clean. We got our new light fixture here. We've got our kitchen here, gorgeous, a white countertop, gray cabinets. We've got the...
Yeah, like I say, I don't think they replaced the countertops. I mean, I'm not saying he says that they are, but the countertops look great.
Hardware. Garage still needs to be painted, being used as trash storage right now, stainless appliances. So pretty gorgeous. I mean, much better than what this was. Really functional kitchen now, functional space, good appliances, clean property. We've got a new faucet over here in the bathroom. Got to throw in a mirror and a couple toilet bolts, which toilet bolts are sitting there. This is all part of, hey, got a couple weeks left. Obviously, there's still stuff to do. But it's nice to see some good progress here. And quite frankly, in 51 days, done a lot of great work out here. Touch-up paint's obviously going to come to touch up the rails. After the carpet folks kick in their carpet, there'll be some nicks to my baseboard as well. I expect that. Totally fine, totally normal. We've got one more light fixture thrown over here. I still see the smoke detectors that we had originally. I'm going to replace those with new, and then it drives me nuts when these stay dirty. So once carpet's done and we're doing touch-up paint, we're gonna get this cleaned. Actually, maybe we'll take this down and clean it right before the carpet.
Yeah, we do it ahead of time.
It goes in. If we look at the bathroom over here, we've done a special type of glazing on this bathroom, which is really exciting. Clean all the windows and that. Take a look at this. This countertop is actually glazed, which is remarkable because it looks gorgeous. Really great job. We got the new light fixture.
So, yeah, so look, this, I mean, it looks like he just went over an existing top. So again, this is a minor fixer-upper. But, these are small things that you can do. I'd say good job, Kevin, so far.
Fixtures in here, a little bit of cleanup here, obviously, as we reinstall some of this cabinet hardware, which was here, which we decided to keep for the master closet. But otherwise, we've got what look like brand new countertops, cabinets, faucets, sinks, beautiful new light fixtures, hardware, bathroom and the shower, very functional over here. Some parts to change out. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bronze the tub flow and the tub controls. So that'll get solved. And this.
So I think what he's talking about is just changing the kits on those to match the bronze hardware that he's put in there, which a lot of times, just so you know, you can do that. When you have a shower kit, you can replace the head and basically it's the trim kit, they call it, as long as they still make it.
This whole space will look brand spanking new. We are doing carpet upstairs, which I know some people are like, oh, why do carpet? So what we decided to do is go with a little bit of a combo where we have the flooring we're using downstairs in the bathrooms and laundry, and we're gonna do carpet in the bedrooms and hall. Some people have a preference for that, for comfort, and it's also about 1/4 the cost.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Carpet's cheap. Even vinyl flooring. In fact, I just bought some cheap vinyl flooring for the one in the house. Let me put it this way. You got vinyl flooring, it costs you $6 a foot. That's really great. And then you can buy some cheaper stuff, which I'm buying 2,200 square feet of cheap stuff tomorrow for $1.77 a foot. And it costs that much to install it too, by the way.
So we're going with that because we could always change out a rug. It's not that big of a deal. And the extra cost it would have taken to do more of this for another maybe 800 square feet here just wasn't worth it for this project. We're not going to get that extra value back. So we're really matching our rental competition here. And that's totally okay. You always have to look at what your competition is.
Now, I'll say what, if they plan on renting this place, carpet may not be the best solution, to be quite honest. I'll tell you a couple reasons why. It's just nasty between tenants. Can be bad. It can be clean, but I don't know. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Doing. Some markets you go into, you're not even going to replace the hardware to brown or bronze hardware. You're just going to leave the gold hardware. You'll even leave the brown doors because that's what the competition is. But we like to go in, same kind of standard, same plan for light fixtures, switches, you name it. So that's this product.
So maybe he changed out these switches, or maybe these were already here, but these are decor switches. I put these in every property. It just makes every home look a little bit more modern. The wide rock.
Now let's talk numbers. Now, before we hit numbers, I gotta say, I love the combination of rock and mulch, especially you put the weed barrier down. It's so low maintenance. It's so easy to add some new mulch in the future to freshen up, add a few extra bags of rocks if you need.
I'll also tell you this, and he's doing some good stuff here. And I do a lot of this. I put rock down. I put weed barrier. We put rock down. These little kits here, you do a double kit here, make this twice as high, and now it's like an outdoor, fire pit. You guys have seen a lot of the renovations I've done. We throw those in the back. It's quick and easy.
And we were thinking about replacing this, but then I got to the idea thinking, what we should do is just paint this. It looks pretty cute, looks like a birdhouse, give it a nice little sand, spray paint it, be pretty cool as a mailbox. So we're gonna keep this, we're gonna touch it up a little bit. Now, when it comes to
I don't know about that. I think I might just throw that in the trash.
numbers, here's the deal. We're gonna be into this project for about $511,000. Now, when we bought the project, we were thinking comps might be somewhere between 610 to 630 because that's where they were sitting. We've started to see comps move a little closer to the 600 to 610 range, but that still leaves us a $90,000 budget on this property that we're probably going to be rent ready for within 60 days. That's not too shabby. We think we can do this at scale. That's why you want to learn more by going to HouseHack.
Okay, so this is where I would be concerned, to be quite honest. All due respect to Kevin. But a $511,000, that's where he's at, and he thinks he might be $90,000 under market. So it's less than 20%, right? Roughly. I guess my concern is, and maybe is this a California property? And that would make a difference, and I'll tell you why. If it's a California property, the tax rate in California is actually fairly reasonable compared to other states. So there's a little edge there on the numbers. But a $511,000 project, and you're going to rent it, I don't think I'd rent it. I would flip it if you can flip it. This is where I differ from a lot of investors. I have a high standard of making money on a profit. The property I just bought for $225, I'll probably have $300 in it. It'll sell for maybe $420 to $450. So again, I'm going to make half again of whatever I spent. I like to have a good 35% in there, and money's expensive now, so I don't know how he's going to make sense of this being a rental at $511,000. What's his rent going to be? I mean, money costs you, unless he's paying cash with it with fund money. But what's the return going to be on it? I'm going to guess 3.5%, 4% return on a rental after expenses and taxes at best. Maybe not even that, but just say 4%. Be my guess. I'd be curious. Maybe he'll tell us the numbers.
.com, read the offering circular. And as this market gets a little soft in this winter, we think we're going to be able to get wedges that easily average out to $100,000 over and over again, if not more. Because once snow starts falling in some of these northern climates, sellers who are selling, they're going to be walking away, and we're going to get some nice wedges. Now, the cool thing is, as part of that renovation on the other house you just saw, we're in now a different house, which here's what it looked like before. Notice the trash everywhere, how nasty the kitchen was, the water leak that was in the ceiling, how horrible the garage was, given that it had its own
No, that's looking more like a renovation.
grow room in there. This is where we've gotten so far. Now, this project closed about 4 weeks later, so it's about 4 weeks behind. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of trash around, but that's okay. Ultimately, we're actually pretty nicely progressed. The countertops are in, the cabinet paint has been done, the flooring's been done downstairs, appliances need to come in, plumbing fixtures need to come in. And so obviously some electrical work needs to be done. So there's definitely still work to do here, but we are vastly progressed compared to where we were when we close on this property. And remember, this one's about 4 weeks behind. It's only about 4 minutes from the last one. And this deal closed for about $21,000 less than the other deal. Now, just 2 streets over from the last.
Yeah, this was if they're all things being the same, if that's 21,000 less than the other deal, I mean, countertops, they're a pretty good hit. He's got. It looks like if you look at this is the first thing I notice is the backsplash it looks like they came in lower than the previous one. I usually take the backsplash, to be honest. I usually just go right up under the bottom of the cabinets here. So it's that way. It's all granite. So they've got some repair work here. If you can see this, let me see if I can make it bigger.
Less than.
See here. They got some repair here. They wouldn't have to do that if they'd have just raised the backsplash. If they'd have just raised it a little higher, you wouldn't have to even deal with that. But right now they're going to have to tape, float, and texture to match, unless maybe they plan on doing a tile treatment or something up there. Which Kevin sounds like he's been pretty conservative, but I would have just taken it up and covered it. Then you wouldn't have to be repairing it.
The other deal. Now, just 2 streets over from the last house we were in is this property. It's within 200 square feet. It's listed for $635,000. That's almost $200,000 more than we paid for the other property in essentially the same neighborhood. This is exciting. Now, again, this one's a little bit larger, but we think we're doing a great job of finding wedge deals, and we could not be more excited about the deals that we're doing and how we're scaling our OpEx, because we want to make sure we minimize those costs for our investors. Now, no guarantees. Obviously, we are a startup, so anything can happen, but go read more. Go read the offering circular at househack.com. Learn more about what it is we're doing, how we plan to take properties and turn them into mini funds, and basically create cash flow. That's our goal. Our goal is to create cash flow. The attorney always comes and says, Kevin, remember, we can't guarantee cash flow. We can't guarantee. I'm not making guarantees. This is just the vision, and it's what I'm going to be doing full time.
Well, he's doing a really good job disclosing, and so I appreciate that, because most of these guys don't do a good job disclosing. I'm talking about Grant Cardone, and I think there's been a little criticism thrown a little bit towards Kevin for kind of doing a fund, like following the Grant Cardone. But you know what? Maybe he's going to give a better return. But I'm open-minded enough to see where it goes. I'm a numbers guy. I look at the numbers, but I can see the margins. And I've been doing real estate for a long, long time, and I've done lots of renovations. And it gets expensive. And let's hear the rest of this, and then we'll talk a little more.
Or I see myself doing this for at least the next 10, 20 years, because I've already been doing this for the last 10 years. I love doing this. I enjoy it. I walk comps. I walk my properties. I teach. I grow my teams. That's how we're going to scale HouseHack eventually nationwide.
Yeah, that seems to be an interesting trend right now. Just so look, you've got Kevin here has now created a fund. Who else? Well, first of all, we've had Chris Crone, which is kind of sort of fun. He does a one at a time, individual partnerships of what it looks like. And then you got Grant Cardone. And then you've got, I think, Ryan Pineda, which I did not like anything that I saw that Ryan Pineda did. It looked terrible, and he's kind of been all over the place and even openly said he was wrong. And then Pace Morby, who I'm not a big fan of. Pace Morby, very likable. When I hear him talk, seems like a very likable guy, but the advice has been terrible, what I've heard come out of his mouth. And so, it doesn't matter how likable a guy is, he can be terribly wrong. You can listen, the streets are bloody with good intentions. There's a lot of people make huge mistakes. People fall them off a cliff. But so let's say, so you got Kevin, Chris Crone, Grant Cardone, Chris Crone and Grant Cardone have been doing the fun stuff. Now Kevin's doing the fun. Ryan Pineda's doing the fun. Pace Morby, right? But I see a lot more people are trying to go after funds, and I think, and I'm not saying this is Kevin's intention, but it's just so much easier to play with other people's money. I am exclusively work with my own money. I've got maybe taken one or two partners. I had a high school buddy. In the very beginning, I took partners until I didn't need the other people's money, which is a very short time. I always prefer to invest my own money. The partners that I took, I have one partner, now he passed away and his kids are my partners now, on just one property, or two properties, maybe $7-8 million worth of stuff. Started with $200,000 investment though. But I own 2/3 of that investment. And so they can kind of rest that I'm going to do a good job because I got twice as much to lose. And that's always, it's very good to be partners with somebody who has as much or more to lose than you do. And that's the problem with funds, they get half of everything, but they don't have any sweat in the game. They don't have any real money in the game. Now, I don't know if that's Kevin Steele, and I'm not talking about Kevin, I'm talking about just in general. And so, if you can get a very small return for your investors, but as long as you get half of thousands of people's investment, half of whatever, it doesn't matter they make a little bit. You're getting half of a little bit of thousands of people. They're only getting half. They're splitting it with you. You're splitting it with thousands of people. That's how the funds work very nicely for the proprietor, the main, and plus they can charge a 2% fee annually and make money. $10 million fund, $200,000 a year, $100 million, $20 million, right? Or I'm sorry, I guess it'd be $2 million. But anyways, just things to think about and consider. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I ran out of time, but I like Kevin. I do like Kevin. I'm not saying I know anything about what he's doing. I can't say I recommend any of it. But I appreciate the guy. I think he's an honest guy. I think he's got good intentions. But okay, so let's see. Barry wrote, Tom, can you run the numbers on Kevin's HouseHack and see what he might need to rent it for and what kind? Yeah, it kind of sort of was, Barry. I was just, if at 511,000, it usually doesn't turn into a very good return on a single family home. Just doesn't. Yeah, you guys can tell me. Anybody out there got a $500,000 home that rents at a profit? I'm not talking about Airbnbs either. Airbnbs are like running a hotel. That's a job. I'm talking about a rental, a regular rental. I don't think so. In fact, usually properties over 300,000, they just have diminishing returns, and they get worse as the value goes up. The return is less and less on the value of the asset, and so it's a little bit of a risky thing. To I buy homes. I bought many. I can't even tell you exactly how many, but I bought 8. Whatever. Just in recent times, I bought 20. So that's just in over 42 years. It's probably 3 times that. But I buy a lot of stuff. I buy land and other things too, and commercial, industrial, offices. But back to, I love houses for the reasons that they're an emotional purchase. The values go up drastically for reasons that have nothing to do with business, which is interesting and profitable. They go up. People want to be in that neighborhood for the schools, for the parents, the neighbors, that sort of thing. And then of course, I've got some great properties have super walkability. In other words, you can walk to a lot of great places. Or it's when the walkability score they'll talk about, basically just being close to nice parks, not drug addict parks like they have in Los Angeles, but there's some places that it's nice to be near a park. There's some places where it's a heroin hangout. So you got to be careful. A walkability score could be very misrepresentative, depending on what you're talking about. But hey, on this, good job, Kevin. I wish you the best of luck with HouseHack, and hope you make a lot of money, because I hope you make other people a lot of money. You would probably be one of the few, if you do, in this kind of endeavor. But I wish you the best, and good choices on your colors picking out, and I like some of your renovation choices. You're not going overboard. You're conserving. You got to be tight with things, but still make them look good. I give you A+ on that. So what Mr. Perseverance wrote, investors take on most of the risk when investing into a fund. Yeah, the individual investors take all the risk. They take all the risk. Because I can put a fund together and I can charge the fund 2% a year just to run it. And then there's the other money to be made also doing other things, managing in the rentals and that sort of thing. So there's very, very all upside for the guy that sitting on the top. The dangers in the other people. Because think about somebody that pulls 25% out of their home. Let's just say they have a $200,000 home, and they take 25% out. So they got $50,000. They throw it into a fund. Well, I mean, right now the money's going to cost them, probably 6-7% to borrow that 50 out of their home. And so, do you think you're going to get 7% out of a fund? It's just highly unlikely. Unless I had a fund, then you would. Okay, but I don't. But I may have to consider it now. But it would be different. It wouldn't really be. I wouldn't even discuss exactly what it'd be. But I have some thoughts. I mean, you guys see what I buy. Anyways, so again, good job, Kevin, on this, and let's
congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Which I say, yes, me, Kevin.
Where does this mean we are in the economic cycle? Should we be thinking about buying real estate? Should we be thinking about buying stocks? I have a background in real estate.
Yeah. So anyways, like I say, Kevin is a rock star as a YouTuber. So listen, those of you that are interested in making money in real estate, I've been doing it for 42 years. I buy all the kinds of properties that most of you drive by and see every day. I buy office buildings, industrial buildings, commercial strip centers. In fact, I give you an idea because I think this actually is a pretty good way to show the kind of properties that I have and buy, and it says a lot about experience, right? So this what you see right here, these are properties that I own. You can see, this is a long stretch of properties, and these are not little tiny properties. These are, some multi-million-dollar buildings. Some houses, that are close to $1 million, and some that are, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, and this is the kind of experience you should look for in an investor if you're going to throw money in with someone. Is you want to see what their track record is. If I was going to entice people to invest with me, I would show them properties, like this one where I've made a couple million, this one where I've made a couple million, this one where I've made a little neighborhood where I've made a couple million just off 4 or 5 houses, a little row of homes here, $1 million, $1 million plus on a single purchase here. That's credibility, and it's kind of funny because, and when I talk about the kinds of properties, you want to see expertise in what people do. These apartment buildings, I owned all of these. Every one of these deals that you see, every one of these, I negotiated. Every one of them, there was work in finding it, in negotiating it, getting it, and then ultimately profiting from it. Anyways, so hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week. And again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and talk to you later. Bye. You want to learn how to make millions of dollars in real estate? I've made tens of millions over my lifetime, and I'm showing people how to do it. Get in my free webinar. I have it every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Go to the link below, FlipAnythingUSA.com/webinar. Sign up for it. You can talk to me face to face if you want. Don't waste any time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You don't want to miss my channel. I've been doing it for years.